So, you're thinking about a non-faculty job at one of India's top medical institutes. Well, the AIIMS Common Recruitment Exam, the CRE, that's your ticket in. But let's be honest, figuring out the whole process can be a bit of a headache. That's exactly why we're here. In this explainer, we're going to break down everything you need to know step by step so you can tackle this whole application journey with confidence. Okay, let's just dive straight into the biggest point of confusion, shall we? You've probably been online and seen one website screaming about 1,383 vacancies, and then another one says there are over 4,500 jobs. So what's the deal? Which one is right? Well, here's the thing. They're probably both real. But, and this is a big but, they're talking about totally different recruitment cycles. Knowing which notification you need to follow is absolutely critical, and we're going to make that super clear for you. Yeah, feeling a little overwhelmed is totally normal. I mean, the CRE is a huge deal with a ton of moving parts. But hey, don't you worry, we've got you covered. We've actually mapped out the entire journey for you, right from that first moment you decide to apply, all the way to the day you could be starting your new job. So here's our game plan. We've broken it down into 4 key parts. First, we'll look at just how massive this opportunity is. Then, we'll get into decoding that all-important official notification. After that, we'll tackle the exam itself. And finally, we'll walk you through what happens after the results come out. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1. What exactly is the CRE and why is it such a big deal? Let's get into it. The Central Recruitment Exam, or CRE. Honestly, it's a total game changer. Think of it like a master key. It's one single, centralized exam that opens doors to dozens of top-tier institutions for all sorts of non-faculty jobs. We're talking about Group B and C posts, which are basically the engine room of these places, the skilled technical folks, the administrative staff, the support teams. Instead of filling out a dozen different applications, you just go through one single streamlined process. It's all about making things simpler and more efficient. And when I say it's a big network, I mean it's massive. We're talking about 26 different institutions participating. You've got the big names, of course, like AIIMS New Delhi and AIIMS Jodhpur, but it also includes other heavy hitters, like the Indian Council of Medical Research. And here's the best part. One application, one exam, and you're in the running for a spot at any of them. Pretty incredible, right? And this isn't an exam for just one kind of job. The CRE covers a huge range of roles. You've got clinical positions like senior nursing officer, super important technical jobs like medical lab technologist, and the crucial administrative roles like junior administrative assistant. Whatever your skill set, there's a good chance there's a spot for you here. Okay, on to Section 2. Remember that confusion we mentioned right at the start? This is where we clear it all up. The official notification. Think of it as your Bible for this whole process. And it's so important that you're looking at the current one. Here's why. So, here's the bottom line. AIIMS runs different recruitment drives, or cycles, at different times. A notification for one exam might say there are 1,383 vacancies and the deadline is in December. But you might find an old notification from a previous cycle that lists over 4,500 jobs with a deadline back in January. Both were correct for their time. Your job is to completely ignore all the old stuff. You need to focus only on the details in the official notification for the specific exam you plan on taking. That's it. The good news is that the application process itself is actually pretty straightforward, and it's all done online. You just go to the official website, get yourself registered, fill out the form with your details, upload your photo and signature, pay the fee, and then, super important, save a copy of that registration slip. And just a reminder, they don't accept any offline forms, so everything has to be done through the website. Okay, so you've sent in your application. Great. Now your focus completely shifts to the main event, the computer-based test, or CBT. Getting a handle on how this test is structured is absolutely key, so let's break it all down. So here's the rundown of the exam. You've got 90 minutes, it's an online test, and you'll face 100 multiple-choice questions. Now, the first 20 questions are on general stuff, but the other 80, those are all about your specific field, your domain. The whole thing is out of 400 marks, which means every single question is worth 4 points. So yeah, every answer really counts. Now, this next part is something you absolutely have to burn into your brain. There is negative marking. For every single wrong answer, you lose a mark. This changes everything. It means being accurate is just as important as being fast. So what's the strategy? Simple. Only answer the questions you feel good about. Taking a wild guess could actually hurt your score more than just leaving it blank. And get this, the structure of the exam is kind of intense. It's broken into 5 sections and you only get 18 minutes per section. Here's the kicker. Once those 18 minutes are up, that section automatically submits and you can't go back to it. No second chances. This means your time management has to be on point. All right, deep breath. You've done the exam. So what happens now? Passing the CBT is a huge achievement, but it's really just the start of the final leg of the race. Let's walk through what this post-result journey looks like. Once the results are out, things start moving fast. There are basically 4 big steps. First, you'll go online and pick the institutes you'd prefer to work at. Second, for some jobs, like if you're going for a stenographer or LDC role, you'll have a skill test you need to pass. Third is the super important document verification stage. And last but not least, a medical exam and then all the final joining paperwork. And just to show you how fast things can move, let's look at a real example from a previous cycle. The results came out on January 23rd. Just a week later, the website to choose your preferred institute opened up, and then it closed just about 10 days after that. So what's the big takeaway here? The clock starts ticking the second the results are out. You have to be ready to act fast, because getting the seat you want can depend on your rank and how quickly you make your choices. And this right here, this is what it looks like when things get real. This is an actual call letter from AIIMS Bhubaneswar asking candidates to come in for document verification. This is that moment where it all becomes tangible, and trust me, you absolutely need to have all your paperwork perfectly in order. It's non-negotiable. So what exactly do you need to have ready? Okay, let's run through the checklist. You're going to need plenty of copies of your photograph, proof of your date of birth, your ID, and of course all your mark sheets and certificates. If you're applying under a specific category, you'll need that valid certificate. And listen up, if you're already a government employee, you must have a no objection certificate, or NOC, from your current job. And don't forget to keep copies of your admit card and application form with you. So if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. The whole recruitment process, that's your map. It shows you where you want to go, but the official notification for the exam you're taking, that's your compass. It's the only thing that's going to point you in the right direction every single step of the way. Look, the path might seem complicated, but now you can see it's a clear one. With the right info and the right preparation, this amazing opportunity is absolutely within your grasp. So really, there's only one question left to ask. Now that you have the map, are you ready to start your journey?